This story takes place back when I was in graduate school, and I was living with a roommate, and we're both total Trekkies. And one day we were talking, I said, wouldn't it be cool if we could get on the set of Star Trek Next Generation? Something I really wanted to do. And he's like, yeah, that'd be cool. I said, let's make a bet. Let's see who can get onto the set first. He said, all right. So I got to work. How was I going to get onto the set of one of the most closely guarded productions at Paramount? So I started putting out the word to everybody that I knew what my goal was, to get on the set of Star Trek Next Generation. So my mother calls and tells me one of my girlfriends knows the woman who's the caterer for Star Trek, and she said she'd be willing to let you help serve one day at the coach. And I said, well, that'd be really cool, but it doesn't really get me on the set. And I don't necessarily want to serve the food to people. I mean, that would be fun. Maybe I meet an actor or two, but I really wanted to be on the set. But I kept that in the back of my mind. Then my sister was living with a roommate who worked at Paramount, and his father was like the VP of Finance, right? So she said, I can get you onto the lot, and I could perhaps get you into the commissary, but that set is so guarded they don't let anybody on there because the Trekkies are always stealing things. So I kept trying to figure out how I was going to get on the set, and I kept really working it. I even called the company that does the extras casting, because I figured I'll be the guy in the back just pushing the buttons during a disaster. That would work for me. But I couldn't get in that way either. Then I got the call. My mother calls me and says that her friend's daughter got a speaking featured part in one of the episodes, and because she was underage, she needed a set guardian. Well, that's where Aunt Erin came in. In fact, they stipulated it had to be a blood relative. That's how guarded the set was. So I was all set to go down there and be her guardian on the set for the second half of the day. When I went with my sister's friend Sherry to lunch ahead of time, and she says, why don't I walk you over there, because it's lunchtime, the set will be closed down, and you can meet with your people. So we went out on there, and we noticed that the door to the set was open, and so she walked me right onto the set area, and I was able to see the bridge and the captain's ready room. It was very cool, but it was a closed set. It wasn't a hot set. They weren't filming there, so everything was kind of covered. So it was cool, and I was excited. But then she walked me over to meet the young girl and her father, who was going to make the exchange, and I was going to take over in the afternoon. And he said, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but Megan got sick on the set, and they canceled her filming for the day, and so I'm taking her home. And I'm like, no, this can't be happening. And he said, I can't get you on the set. And I said, no, I've come this far, I've got to get there. And he said, let me see what I can do. So he went to the security guard who was guarding the set during lunch, and he said, this is my niece. Can you just give her a little tour of the set? And he said, I'm really not allowed to do that. It's totally against the rules. And he's all, come on, she's come all this way. He's all, well, you're not one of those Trekkies, are you? I don't even know what a Trekkie is. He said, are you sure? I said, Scout's honor. He says, all right, come with me. So he took me on a tour of the set. I walked through the transporter room. I was touching things. I was in engineering, definitely doing things I wasn't supposed to do. And the security guy kept saying, don't touch that. Don't touch that. I'm like, this? You don't want me to touch this? So I was having a lot of fun. At one point, I saw Dr. Beverly Crusher in her trailer, and she was eating an apple. I'm like, hi. And then I walked around a set, and I tripped over some guy, and I looked down, and he was eating a sandwich, and it was LeVar Burton, who played Geordie LaForge. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. He said, that's all right. I'm like, ah. So I had to kind of keep it in check. But I went back. I mean, my life was complete at that moment. And I went back to my friend, the roommate, and said, that wasn't so difficult.